Hey, everybody, welcome. As everybody starts to gather in here, it is exciting to see you all here today. Thank you all for coming. We are going over CTV Reimagined today. So, in just a few minutes, we will kick off the webinar and get everybody started. We want to make sure everybody has a chance to get in. We just clicked over the hour mark, so we'll give everybody a few minutes to find their login and connect up. Zoom has a curious habit of shutting down and rebooting and restarting every time I'm desperate to get on a call. So we want to make sure everybody gets a chance to deal with any possible technical issues that are there. But as everybody's coming in, just a couple notes for you today. We will be announcing our grand prize winner at the end of the event, so make sure you stay tuned for that. We're very excited for that giveaway. If you didn't know about it, we're giving away a CTV connected growth engine package. At the end of the day today, it includes some stuff from our great partners that are with us today, as well as inventory, CTV inventory. So it is a full package. And you're definitely going to want to stay around to the end to see if you are possibly the winner for that. As people are coming in, just wanted to remind everybody this is a conversation. This is not just a one-way street. So please feel free to use either the chat or the QA section to ask us questions. Happy to take those for you. And this will be, you have to get your fingers all limbered up, but we are going to ask you questions. We're going to have some feedback from the audience, and definitely want you guys to participate in the chat there and communicate back and forth with us. In fact, we will go ahead and start the chat. Get your fingers ready, find that chat button. Go ahead and tell me, are you currently buying CTV today? Just a quick yes or no in the chat there. Let us know if you are currently buying CTV or not. That helps give us a little indication of what people are doing and how they're doing it. If you have a problem finding the chat, it's just down at the bottom of the page there. Go ahead and type in your answer there, and we will get it kicked off. All right. Oh, attendee chat is disabled. Let's see. How do I get the chat turned back on for everybody? Of course, you guys have no technical issues, and I'm the one with a technical issue on it. All right, we will look into that. I'm not exactly sure how I can get that chat turned back on. Kate, maybe you could take a look and see if we can turn on chat for everybody. But as we are looking at that, thank you for flagging that. Want to go through and just go through some housekeeping with everybody. This is our standard. Everything is being recorded and it'll be sent out to everybody after this. So if you have to duck out early, we hope you don't, but we definitely understand things come up. We will be sending out the recording of this afterwards for everybody. And if you want to share it around, please feel free to share it around as well for people who may or may not be on the call or able to make the call. Again, so with chat not working right now, please use the QA section. That is definitely working. I definitely have people coming in there. So if you do have questions or want to comment on there, go ahead and type in your QA there. We have a QA section at the end, but if you have something relevant to what we're going through in the moment, definitely hit us up and we will see if we can grab those and make the appropriate responses there. So that is a little bit of the housekeeping. We have great panelists here with us today. I've got Stefan from FieldStream. I've got Matt from Bridge. We'll go into a little bit of detail, and they're going to be presenting a little bit later. Sorry, but Stefan, give us a wave and tell us just real briefly who you are.
Hi everyone, my name is Stefan Engström and I'm the CEO and co-founder of FieldStream AI. We are Europe-based and now we're collaborating with TapClicks in the US. Thank you for having me today.
As you couldn't tell from his accent, he is Europe-based. Thanks, Stefan. Matt, why don't you give us a wave and tell us a little bit about you?
Hi there, I'm Matt Wolfram. I'm a commercial officer at Bridge. Bridge is a first-party data company that helps agencies reach local advertisers with great targeting. And we'll talk more about that as we go forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, guys. Matt, not Matt Wolfram, the other Matt who asked the question. I'm going to capture that, Matt, and we are not competing with you, but I will explain exactly how this works a little bit further in the presentation. So thank you for your question, Matt, Matthew, whichever you prefer, and I will definitely cover that in just a bit. So what we're covering off on today is CTV, and we're really going to demystify it a little bit for people. It's something that's been out there for a long time, but not a lot of agencies, not a lot of brands have really adapted to it. And we're going to talk about why it matters and how can you add it to your campaigns for faster results for everything that you're doing. So really, it's about the blend of branding and performance driving inventory, right? We used to think of linear TV as just commercials that are out there and they were only for branding. But really, CTV is that new version, the new combination of performance advertising and brand advertising that lifts all of your campaigns. And that's really why it's important and why we're talking about it today. So what is CTV? As you know, in the marketing space, we love our three-letter acronyms. Just like most government agencies, we have more three-letter acronyms than we know what to do with. So CTV stands for Connected TV. And simply it is a TV that is connected to the internet. And just about everything now is connected to the internet, but these are called smart TVs now. It's all your flat panel displays, all your flat screen TVs. Anything that's connected to the internet now has the ability to be and deliver CTV advertising through it. Now, the difference is it's not just streaming content, right? It's not just Netflix, and it's not your traditional linear TV advertising where you advertise on NBC, right? This is a data-driven, intent-based TV advertising solution. So it's really taking all the historic legacy TV advertising to the next level and bringing the best of digital with the reach and scale of traditional linear TV together for advertisers and for agencies as well. It's the same network, it's the same shows, it's the same slot placements, just with different targeting, different abilities, and better performance on it across the board. So if you guys are doing it already, if you're looking at CTV already, this is really the thing for you guys. If you're doing display advertising and you need a lift in your display campaigns, you're looking for better performance, this is definitely something for you as well. If you're a brand and you're saying, man, I really have a great message, but it just doesn't come across well in the carousels that I'm doing on LinkedIn or the different display ads or Google ads. I just need something else above and beyond what I'm doing today. CTV is probably a great answer for you to take that performance that you're looking for, as well as the storytelling and the branding, and bring it all together for you. And that's really why we're talking about it today. So why do you care about it, right? I said all these great things, but is it really big? Is it really interesting? Is it really something that is going to move the needle for us? Are people actually streaming out there? Has the audience moved? Those have been the big questions, right? Here's the answer to a lot of those, and you guys can see a lot of the numbers and stats on the screen there, but 71% of all viewers, of TV viewers, watch through smart TVs.
Kevin,
Yeah.
your screen is not showing. We see you.
Thank you for that. Okay, we got the chat fixed, but let me see if I can reshare. How's that? Can you guys see my presentation now? No?
No.
Okay, let's stop, share.
Perfect.
All right. All right, we will get this sorted one day, one way or another here. Okay, perfect. Thank you for flagging that. And the chat is working again. Thank you for fixing that. If anybody has questions, please feel free to hit up in chat. Got it. Back to my regularly scheduled program. 71% of viewers are on smart TVs. CTV spending is up. It's up 33% over the last 2 years. It is definitely where people are shifting budgets or increasing budgets, and it's growing faster than search. It's growing faster than digital. It's one of the fastest growing things out there. So if you're not taking advantage of it, it is definitely something that you should be taking a look at, right? It should be part of media mixes, and we'll get into some more details about that, but it's definitely here. It is not a fringe type of vehicle for advertising. It is at the forefront of it, and it's continuing to grow and scale and ramp. So really, that's why you should be carrying 44%, for almost 45% of all TV watching is now on streaming platforms and on smart TVs. It's more, regular linear TV is dying. We've been heard that it's dying for a long time, and this is kind of that next step and the next progression there. You get the big screen impact, you get measurable reach and performance, you get all of the targeting capabilities that you've traditionally come to know and love of your digital ad campaigns, now with video, and not just video on YouTube, but video on the big screen, right? The big screen in a household where everybody's eyes and everybody's attention is going to. So that is really the differentiation there. We're off of the small screen, we're onto the big screen, and this is where people are spending a lot of their time and focus. In the chat, if you guys would bear with me, go ahead and type in, are you still using cable? Have you guys cut the cable and you're just on streaming now? Let's get a little engagement going. You see the chart in front of you. How do you guys kind of feel like that's representing who you are doing or what you're doing? Are you using cable? Are you using streaming? Throw that in the chat. Love to get your feedback and understand what you guys are doing there. How do we go about doing CTV, right? It's up. Chat is still disabled. Sorry about that. Thank you, Steve, for that. And we'll try to get that worked on. If you guys are currently doing digital advertising, which most everybody is, right? You're already about 80%, 90% of the way there with CTV. It's basically the same type of buying methodology, right? It is a programmatic buying experience where you choose your audience, you choose your budget, you choose your time slots that you want to go after, and you choose the inventory that you want. And then you just go ahead and apply your, all those targetings with your creative, and you let it run. The difference is with traditional linear TV, you would get broad DMAs. You couldn't hyper target very well. You couldn't pick the right audience. You just had to take whatever they gave you. With CTV now, you get all of those key targeting metrics that you've come to know and love with your audience, with your demographics, and you can get hyper targeted on your zones or your regions or your locales that you're going after instead of just taking everything. Chat just came live. Awesome. Thank you, guys. Sorry, trying to do two things at the same time here. Okay. Inventory, audience, and reporting is all possible now with CTV. With linear, you just had to get share of voice, or you had impressions, or you had the time slot that you ran in, but there really wasn't any performance metrics that you got out of the back end of that. And that is the difference with the CTV now, is you get all of those performance metrics, the tracking, the capabilities, the performance, the analytics that come down with it, and the attribution that comes with that as well. Matt's going to talk a little bit about that and how they're looking at attribution from the TV through CTV as well. So all of these things are now available to you through this new video output medium. One of the key things is making sure that you have the right audience, but not just any audience, right? A really brand safe, trusted audience. We've heard so many different people in the market talk about, oh, I've got this audience and that audience. Matt and Bridge have really come together with something that is incredibly unique and differentiated. They have actual people in their audience, not just some mysterious made up audience. So, Matt, tell us a little bit about the data safety that you guys have and how you really put together those key audiences that people can take advantage of here.
Sure. Happy to do that. Guys can hear me?
Yeah.
Great. So at our heart, Bridge is a data company. We lean into PII where others lean back, and we do that in a very consent and permission-based approach. A lot of folks build audiences by scraping cookies, looking at IPs, and putting them in the big bucket. And they say these are soccer moms, and they're opaque. You could be soccer moms, they could be soccer dads, they could be, bots from China. And at the end of the day, what's important is the audience that you're targeting, and then can you match back to your sales back to that campaign?
Hmm.
And for the last decade, the industry has been talking about brand safety, rightfully so. Making sure the ads avoid inappropriate content. No one wants to have their brand ruined by just being on some weird website. But there's a new risk that's emerged recently, and we see it in whenever, if you're in California, if you see it in Texas and so forth, where uh, and marketers, I think, are increasingly unprepared for this, which is unsafe, unverified, and consented audience data. A lot of the campaigns that you're running out on the web are powered by bad data. And in a world where cookies are going away and there's a lot more privacy regulation, we believe that data safety is the missing pillar in the advertising world. So we really want to make sure that we are transparent with the audiences that we're building. We allow people to come into our system and build a count, an audience count, targeted down to zip code and an address. And as marketers really are adopting a more transparent approach, we want to show the audiences that you're building. And why is that important? Because when you know who you're targeting, when you know that it's a real person, the outcomes can be proven, not just assumed. So, you know, that's so important right now for data. And there are four things I just want to kind of leave you with before I end my kind of talking at you and I can start listening to you. Is really consent-based data is really important because it's really real permission. And we want to make sure you're asking the questions about where's the data coming from? How are you building it? And is the identity there that you can track back? Do I have sales? Especially if you're, Matthew, you asked that question, if we're competing with your agency. No, we want to power your agency to have better solutions for your local advertisers because at the end of the day, I don't know if everyone saw the Axios article today that Main Street's under pressure. you know, I don't care what side of the political spectrum you're on, small businesses are feeling a big squeeze. The ADP National Employment Report showed negative 32,000 growth, and most of that was driven by small businesses shedding staff. And so they need to make sure that every dollar they spend tracks back to an outcome. And if you have an audience that is real people that you can show goes back to it, you can see a CRM file. Compare that new customer ad to the audience that you've deployed for your CTV campaigns to really prove the effectiveness of the campaign. It's going to be really more important than ever as we're going into 2026. And that attribution, that outcome-based measurement is going to be so important. And then privacy first. And again, at the end of the day, Texas sued Google for $1 billion because the privacy was wrong. And if you're not managing those regulations, it puts you at risk as a marketer and as a platform. And so we want to make sure that we're working and powering those campaigns in a very transparent, clear, and safe way. And so marketers can get the most and advertisers can get the most, and local businesses can really tap in to understand who's buying in their communities.
Yeah, I think that's so powerful, Matt. I think everybody here has bought an audience at one stage or another, or leveraged a third-party audience. Throw in the chat there if you have used a third-party audience to run your campaigns against, and I'd love to get your feedback on that. But one of the things I thought was really impressive, Matt, is that you guys have email addresses for all of these people so that you can take the attribution. It's not just an audience you're buying, but it is that full stack where you can prove the attribution of your audience to your clients and to yourself, to your investors, to your executive team, whomever. And it's not just a guess, right? I'm not just guessing that because I add this audience, I'm going to get a lift. You're actually proving it at the end of the day, which is something that I've not heard anybody talk about.
Okay, that's a very good point. And again, it goes back to how we build audiences. A lot of people, again, start with grabbing cookies, IPs, and so forth online. We start offline first with that first name, last name, address, and zip code. We call it FLAS because we're in ad tech and we get paid by the acronym. But we start with that offline view and then we connect it with an online view, which is an email address. Who would think a 56-year-old piece of technology is so relevant today? But an email address, not just for sending an email, it's the persistent identifier in the ad space. It's what you use to load up an audience into a DSP. It's a lot how you identify that. And if you can have those two connections and be able to target that person and then match that purchase back to the zip code, back to the address that's in your CRM file, it's a really powerful message and how audiences are being built today.
Absolutely. Bettina had a great comment, excuse me, here in the chat. The experience is you get the same ad over and over, and then you're like, I'm not even the target audience. Why am I getting this ad on TV or wherever you may happen to be? I think that is really where, Matt, you're saying that the bridge audience on top of the targeting nature of CTV really helps resolve that
Mhm.
issue. It's no longer just a frequency cap thing where you're only doing, 1/24 or 3/24, right? But now you're bringing that exact audience, not a guess at the audience, but an exact audience to that. So you're picking the show that you want, you're picking the time slot that you want, and now you're picking the exact audience.
I can't say it any better, Kevin.
Yeah.
I think that the experience that the questionnaire had is, I think, germane to the emerging nature of CTV and of certain platforms pushing ads into a network rather than having some audience targeting around it. It's going to get better and better as we go. Um, there was a question that popped up as you were talking that I saw that is keen to me, which is around HIPAA. One of the things I do want to mention is that the bridge data is SOC 2 audited and we are HIPAA compliant. So
Mhm.
what does that mean? So if you are a healthcare provider, if you are a network of dentists, if you know a lot of private equity firms have gone out and purchased a lot of health health systems, and we can help track and match back patient outcomes, meaning visits, new patients added. We are very keen not to, we have a BAA where we won't accept any PHI information because we are a PII company and
Mm.
we do not want to have any tiebacks to any ailments or anything like that. However, we do want to help those practitioners understand how many new patients they are bringing on board when they're running CTV ads. It's a big, massive buy right now in CTV for helping local healthcare providers add patients, especially as they are consolidating their back-end resources with private equity money. And those private equity investors want to know, hey, are you adding new patients? And we can help them do that with that attribution. And a
And I don't
HIPAA.
want to, yeah, that's great. I hope that answered the question from whoever asked that. Let's see, where was the HIPAA one? Oh, Simon. Um, I also don't want to undersell this, man. This is not a solution simply for CTV. Bridges audiences can be deployed against any campaign, right? Are there any limitations on what you can deploy your audiences against?
No, I mean, so we go to market in two different ways. One, we can manage everything end to end, where we are a fully managed service, or we go to market with our custom audiences that you can build in our platform and push to your endpoint. It could be a social campaign, it could be any programmatic channel you want, and you can manage the media yourself, but you're using the audience to target it effectively, and you can do a match back even if we're not running the media, you can still do the match back. Even, obviously email is cornerstone of what we do, and we run email campaigns all the time. But you can use the data for any channel, from social, audio, CTV, display, native, whatever, and match back the effectiveness of it.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's really important because this can be applied kind of more broadly against everything that you're doing. Speaking of more broadly against everything that you're doing, I want to introduce Stefan and bring him to the table here real quick. The next component of what we're talking about here is really proving out where you should spend that next dollar. We know that CTV is growing. We talked about all the benefits of CTV. Now, how do we bring that all together with everything you're doing, your omni-channel approach to advertising? And how do we get smarter about, hey, did this really work in this vertical? But then did everything work or did nothing work? And how do we see how that lift is across the board? Media mix modeling is one of the fun buzzwords that's in the digital advertising and regular advertising space right now. And Stefan and FieldStream have really kind of taken that to the next level and allowed media mix modeling, something that used to take a lot of digital analysts, a lot of time and a lot of effort, has brought it down to the level where any agency can really leverage this to get smarter and better about what they're doing. It helps with client retention. It helps with client intelligence. It helps with campaign modeling. It helps with so many different things. Before I oversell it, Stefan, tell us a little bit more about the media mix modeling and how you guys are approaching that in the market.
Yeah, thank you, Kevin. I'd like to tie that to the question that came up in the chat about targeting. The fundamental mechanism in marketing is called mirror exposure. It's a psychological phenomenon. The more you're exposed to something, the more you are prone to like it. That is proven by people that have hard amnesia. It's been proven the more you're exposed, even if you don't like it, you tend to like it over time. All right? It's a psychological driving power behind marketing. There's only one hard part of that. You don't know when you overstep that. All right? So I decided to test that thesis 2016 to 19. I measured 600 brains with a Stanford professor with the best advertisers in the world. So over 3 years, we tested how the unsubconscious responded to repeated targeting by ads, by the best ads in the world, Coca-Cola, Mercedes, like top of the range. And it turned out that 45% of all ads had a negative impact of the subconscious. So think about that.
45%.
45% of all ads, negative impact on the subconscious, right? So when we saw that, like, okay, this is trillions being wasted. So that how do we take this kind of data and prediction model into something useful? Because it's too expensive to run around with helmets and capture brain data. So we pivoted to business data because that was a
I don't
funding
know. Don't tell
before.
Elon Musk that. I think that's what he's trying to do.
No, and trust me, we are the cheap Elon Musk. Trust me, we're coming, we get there. But for now, we only have funding for business data.
Yes.
Maybe next year if we do well together. So basically, what we have built is an AI-driven media or marketing mix model where we take all the signals from an advertiser in terms of all spend you have done the last 2 years in all channels, all KPI data, if it's foot traffic, if it's sales, online, anything that you want to model towards. And then we take all your internal data like product updates, technical glitches, anything you've done that has affected your revenue. Hundreds of signals, CRM, for example. And then we, at the fourth point, we add macro factors like tariffs, COVID, unemployment, and so forth. And we take all these signals from an historical perspective, 2 years, and we build a model where you ought to spend your marketing going forward. So if first, like, how much lift can we see from this 2-year litmus test? Hundreds of signals. And then we start to make forecasts. We train the data daily, weekly, monthly, and get the data in, and train the model again and again and again. And the big change that we are seeing is that obviously the sales side platforms prove the worst data. Google, the Meta, the TikTok, they're all heavily inflated, The next worst are the attribution data, really weak signals, because third-party cookie deprivation. So when you measured marketing mix modeling data with attribution data, with ad platform data over time, week by week, you start to see which channels that actually works. It's not a magic bullet. You don't see it straight away, but you see it over time when you start to shift your budget, exactly how much it differs from the sales side platform to the attribution to the model data. And then you get a much, much, much stronger notion of where to put your investment. So that's basically what we are doing. And biggest client base is independent media agencies. They do not have like the data science power. We work a lot with casino companies. They spend, half of their revenue on marketing plus no customer loyalty. And then, the enterprise segment. But that's rather crowded. So we keep a lot to independent agencies. So that is what we are doing. And in the data collection phase, which is like, it's a lot of hard work. Obviously, TapClicks has all the data collected already in most cases, right? So it makes it much, much smoother. So you don't have a very long onboarding process. You get results much quicker because it's a tedious process for some to collect data from 2 years. You switch agencies, you switch a lot of campaigns, naming conventions. So you have a lot of that data already, so it makes for a smooth process.
Absolutely.
Yep.
So you guys are like a data analyst, plug in to all these businesses. You come in and help them where they may not have the staffing and the capabilities or the finances to build out a whole data analyst, division. You guys come in and really do that for them automatically. Now, it
Yep.
sounds like a lot of work, but you guys do the work, right? It's not on the customer to do the work. You guys take the heavy lifting, right?
Obviously we have automatized a lot of the steps, but there's still some manual steps, and my data scientists are doing them for all our clients. Yes.
Great.
Yep.
Now, how long do you need to start showing results? And
If you
it could
only,
be different for every customer,
of
right?
course. Yeah.
Based on
Yeah,
the
no,
data, but
yeah. I
typically
would
is
say
this go ahead.
if you only do online marketing, we can build the model in about 6 weeks, I would say.
Hmm.
Benchmark 6 weeks. You test it for a month. So let's say 6 weeks plus a month to feel secure. If you do online and offline, I would say you should double that time because there are longer cycles in the out of home and TV, and so we need to get a couple of those cycles in. So online only, I would say 6 months plus a month, both online and offline, you have to double that. Yeah.
Great. So very quick, seemingly quickly, you can have something up and running that really helps drive that pinpoint accuracy of where should I spend my next dollar? And that's where we all want to get to, right?
Of
That's
course.
what you guys are helping to drive intelligence.
Yeah, yeah. And usually it's again an educational process because the performance marketing space the last 10 years has been relying on the sales side platforms. They
Hmm.
trust, GA4, they trust that Meta shows, and it's always inflated. They are so big and are so good at what they do, but they always add, 25% in what they claim they are responsible for. And you add that month after month after month, that's a whole difference. Those
Yeah,
numbers get really big.
that's why we all advertise with Google, right? We all are drinking the Kool-Aid, as they say here.
Oh, it works, but again, they are really good at claiming the conversion. Well, the journey started way, way before they got into the picture, and they
Right.
claim that they were responsible for it, and they
Yep.
built a really good business on that.
So in the chat, thank you, Stefan, for that. In the chat, how confident are you knowing exactly where your next dollar should be spent? One being, I'm 100% confident, and five being, I'm just throwing darts at the dartboard on where my next dollar should be spent for advertising. That'd be interesting to see what people come back with on that. So media mix modeling really helps centralize all of the data for all of your campaigns or your clients' campaigns, synthesizes that all down, and then helps people to really kind of figure out where that next dollar should be spent. And I mean, that's the holy grail of what we're all looking for. We're working in silos, we're advertising in silos, we're bringing all that data together either in TapClicks or in spreadsheets, and staying up late at night trying to figure out where's the silver bullet for my next ad spend. Where do I need to go with this? And this really helps answer that question. So I'm super stoked to have you on and sharing that. I love it. Somebody said 8. Out of a 1 to 5 model, they said 8 on where they want to spend their next dollar. That's really good. I think this is going to be helpful for a lot of people. So talking about this, it goes back to Matthew's question originally. If you're not familiar with TapClicks, TapClicks is the central hub for all of your data management solutions. We bring in both online and offline data, CRM data, basically any data that you can find anywhere, and we centralize it for you. We're an automated data warehousing solution. We have all of the connectors to bring in all of your data from wherever it may happen to be. And we centralize it for you. We store it for you. We take care of all of that. We have APIs. And if we don't have APIs for it, we have something called a smart connector where we can literally scrape the data in from wherever you have it, whether it be a CSV, a spreadsheet, an email. We pull it right out of the email for you. We automate that whole process. So the automation of bringing the data in, the automation of then reporting on that data, and then the automation of sending that data out to wherever you may want it to go. We have AI intelligence that's layered on top of that. So not only do you have the data, but you can understand what that data means. And our AI works on creating executive summaries for you on, hey, here's my report, but what does the report actually mean? And here's the audience that I want it to go to, right? To my media team, I want it to say this, or this, it means this. To my executive team, it means this. And we're smart enough and have the intelligence baked in there to create those stories that differentiate it across the board to whomever it's going to and create that automation in the flow. And then it's the storytelling, right? It's the AI-driven storytelling that helps transform just raw numbers on the screen into something that actually makes sense for your audience and tells the story that you're looking to tell. As today, we're stepping into a new arena with our marketplace, which opens up new opportunities to enhance your existing campaigns, bringing on companies like Bridge from an audience perspective, bringing on FieldStream to bring in that media mix modeling. So our marketplace is growing and expanding and allowing you to really take advantage of things that are very synergistic with what you're doing today and elevating what you're doing to the next level. It brings in more revenue sources for you. It increases customer retention by bringing these pieces together. And it's a one-stop shop where you can't get this literally from any place else in a consolidated format to really bring everything together for you. So TapClicks is really becoming that one place where you get everything, your data, your stories, your automation, your AI insights, and then your upsell opportunities to your clients or within your own organization to enhance what you're doing. And that's really why we're bringing this all together for you. It sounds like we're pushing CTV hard, but it's really that full perspective of everything from the beginning planning stage to the execution to the end attribution. TapClicks is here with you for the entire journey. So that's why we're talking to you today about this component. Matthew had a question earlier about are you selling this, why are you selling this to other people? And this is why. We're bringing this to the agencies first and also to brands, but we're not trying to undercut agencies by any stretch of the imagination. We're making you better, we're making you smarter, we're making you faster, we're making you stickier with all these other solutions we're bringing to the table. If you have questions about this or questions about, hey, how can TapClicks really help me get to the next level in my agency and my business? Super happy to sit down with you, create that strategy that helps elevate every aspect of your business, whether you're a brand or whether you're an agency. We work with all of them, and we've got so much experience on helping all of you guys grow and expand, get better at what you're doing. Love to have those conversations with you. So if you do have questions, additional questions, or want that specific one-on-one, I'm happy to meet with you. Our experts are happy to meet with you and really set out a strategic plan to get you guys to the next level and take advantage of all this stuff. Make sense for you? Awesome. So we're through this. We're about 40 minutes in. Love to open it up to you guys. We covered so much stuff today. If you do have questions, love for you to throw it into the QA section. Don't leave just yet because we do have the grand prize giveaway that's coming up in just a second. But I do want to open it up and see what you guys have. If there's any additional questions, throw them out there, comments in the section. Do you like CTV? Do you not like CTV? I think here's the question for you in the chat is if you could take 10% of one of your existing campaigns, and you knew that you were going to get a 25% lift out of that, would you try that in CTV? And that's really what we're pressing here for, is that CTV could be that next step for you to gain really significant increases in the campaign performances. So that's what we're hoping you kind of take away from this today. Any other questions in there? Anybody else? Everybody just wants to know who the grand prize giveaway is. How do we get an idea of attribution targets we can utilize, for example, medical weight loss? Thank you, David. So that question can go to, I'll answer part of that, but I think Matt has covered a little bit of that as well. The attribution targets can be very, very diverse, David, based on the client and what goals they're driving after. So in a medical weight loss, as you put that question in there, what is the attribution they're looking for? Is it just how many clients are signing up? How many people are coming? Whatever that attribution question is, we can either pull it in through your existing solutions. So if you're using GA4 and you're running campaigns, we can show conversion numbers through TapClicks, and we can bring all of those attribution numbers to the forefront. So we're showing all your campaigns and the attribution of your campaigns in one dashboard and one platform. If you're talking about an audience and how the audience is performing from an attribution point, Matt, you had talked about how you match up CRM data with actual conversion data. Maybe you can touch on that just real briefly.
Sure. So our platform's powered at the front end and the back end. On our audience building, TapClicks gives us the visualization on it. On our reporting, TapClicks gives the visualization. So in our reporting system, we have a solution called People Match, which is an attribution tool. So you can easily upload your customer file. No one has to touch it other than you, into our platform, and it shows the new customers who came in, who are now weight loss customer subscribers. You can see how many new customers came in from the audience that matched to the audience that you ran the campaign against and ran the media against from an attribution. And that will be visualized in a tap-powered environment, so you can see clearly and transparently how many new customers came from that campaign. It can be matched back directly to that campaign audience.
That's great. Any other questions in there? You guys still see my screen? Something is weird going on there. Oh, there it goes. Okay. One more second for any last minute questions that come in. Awesome. All right. Well, the moment you've all been waiting for. Thank you all for attending. Again, this is recorded, so if you do have questions, want to share it around, we'll be sending this out to everybody. So drum roll, please. Let's see who the winner is. The winner of our grand prize giveaway CTV package, Francesca Betts from GatorWorks. Francesca, hope I say that right. Betts from GatorWorks. Hopefully Francesca is still on. If you're here, jump in the chat, say woohoo or something. Let us know that you're here. Ah, there we go. Awesome. Congratulations on winning. GatorWorks can you maybe throw in just a quick what is GatorWorks, and I will explain to everybody here who GatorWorks is as Francesca is typing that. We do have alternate prizes, so there will be 10 more winners that get a smaller prize. We'll be reaching out to you directly afterwards. So if you do get a call from somebody at TapClicks, you probably want to take it because it's probably good news that you've won something else from this program. So definitely be on the lookout for somebody reaching out. We have 10 more packages we're going to give away out of the group of people that attended here today. All right, Francesca, digital marketing agency out of Baton Rouge. My French is terrible, so sorry about that. Specializing in home service and medical marketing. Well, we hope the CTV package works really well for you guys and can really help jumpstart a new era and a new kind of vision for GatorWorks. And we're excited to work with you on that. So with that, thanks everybody for being here. We are so excited for the next steps with everybody. If you do have questions, please feel free, hit me up directly, marketing@tapclicks.com, or reach out on our website through our chat, anything that you want there. And we will look to talk to you guys next time. Thanks so much, everybody.